Hello, Taurus, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be your love and relationships reading for the end of February 2023, looking at your connection to the person that you are currently dealing with. Ultimately, my intention is your connection to the person that you are needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of this connection. So we've got your energy toward the connection, their energy toward the connection, and this higher level unbiased energy toward the connection. The intention is that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, your perception, their perception, and then this higher level unbiased perception in the middle. I encourage you to think outside the box in terms of these readings. This is essentially about whoever it is that you're feeling reactive to right now, that, is really top of mind, that you're ultimately dealing with, that's needing to teach you whatever it is you're needing to learn. So doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friend, a family member, a coworker, whoever it is, that you kind of think about, throughout the reading. I will be looking at a different tarot deck for each side. So we've got a lot to dive into today. All right, Taurus, on your side of this connection, you have a new romantic cycle begins with deja vu. I feel like you've been experiencing this level of experiencing the same relationship in different people. And I feel like this connection kind of put a stop to that, because it almost feels like this is not new. Like this connection and what you're dealing with in this situation is not new for you. Like it's a cycle, right? And this is about, I feel like this connection in particular is helping you break this cycle, because this deja vu card, I'm not necessarily saying as you're actually saying deja vu, but like, and you could be, but I ultimately feel like this is like every connection that you get into that whether it be romantic or a friendship or whatever the case is, it just kind of feels like you're like, man, it always seems to turn out the same. And the biggest risk that we run whenever we do experience those connections that kind of it literally feels like we're like dating the same person in different bodies. If it's romantic, or attracting the same friends in different bodies, whatever the case is. The biggest risk we run is internalizing the idea that that's always how relationships are. But I feel like this ultimate goal of this connection is to help you break from that cycle, because the overall energy for this reading is healer and transformation. So there is definitely a personal transformation that's taking place because of this connection. And you might be either realizing or already having some sort of a career as a healer. A tarot reader, Reiki, life coach, spiritual coach, whatever the case is for you. There seems to be like this connection is pushing you into some sort of a personal transformation that's opened your mind to the spiritual world, and maybe you've discovered some gifts that you have. Another way that I could see this is this healer energy could be you are an empath, and so you have a tendency to take on other people's stuff. Again, that can be a risk if you have a tendency to take on other people's stuff and put their stuff ahead of you, ahead of your own stuff, putting, other people's problems ahead of your own, whatever the case might be. This person has stepped out of your comfort zone with resolution. They want some sort of a resolution when it comes to this connection. I feel like they ultimately would have to step out of their comfort zone in order to do that. And I don't feel, just based on this energy that I'm feeling like with these two cards, I don't feel like they're necessarily fully willing to do that. Like, I feel like it's not that they don't want a resolution, it's just that they're not really willing to do what it takes to get there. And that, quite honestly, isn't really your problem. You deserve more than that. And maybe there's an energy of feeling kind of frustrated that that's where they stand. But I ultimately feel, the overall energy for this reading is have faith in your dreams and resistance. So this connection is ultimately helping you remove resistance to the types of connections that you're trying to attract. Now, whether or not that's this specific connection or not, there is a little bit of healing that needs to be done in order to kind of remove that resistance and start to see what it is you need to do, so that either this connection comes together in a healthy way, or you walk away from this connection and provide, open the door for whatever it is that you ultimately are wanting and are deserving of. But let's start, Taurus, by looking at your side of this connection. This is Taurus's side of the connection to the person that they are dealing with. This is Taurus's side of the connection. Ooh. Taurus, you're kind of experiencing some confusion about this connection right now. I feel like you're like, there feels like this energy of like, I know that I love this person, I know that I value them, but I don't know if they're right for me, or if it's the right path for me, or if it's the right type of connection or whatever the case is. There feels like that could be, well, hang on. Because there's that Two of Cups. There is a lot of love here. That's funny because I said that. Like, you know you love this person. You know you have love for them. But there's confusion. Confusion on what, though? Clarifying the Seven of Cups. It feels like confusion on whether or not, because you have a Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you are wondering if this is, because there's the King of Pentacles in this new beginning with the Ace of Wands in reverse. It feels like you're wondering if this connection has run its course. This one in particular. But it's interesting because I feel like maybe you have experienced this in connections before, where it's like you always get to this point where you're like, has this connection run its course? I'm hoping that sun doesn't get too in my face. This is like, it's been so dark and rainy all day, and then of course I'm doing readings and it's super bright and sunny, which I really enjoy, but when the sun starts to set, it kind of starts getting in my face. All right, Taurus's side of this connection. So there's some second guessing going on your side here. The Nine of Pentacles. This connection, it's like, it's in reverse though. It feels like you guys, this connection has a lot of, it feels like childhood energy in common. Or like past in common. Like you guys have come from similar backgrounds, experienced similar things. It feels like, I want clarity on this Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Like, I'm trying to think of the right way to word that. There's the Knight of Pentacles. It's like this connection has been steady. But I feel like maybe there's like this energy of like lacking the feelings you once had for it. But this is really interesting because I don't feel like, I want to clarify this. A new romantic cycle begins. Clarifying a new romantic cycle begins. The Nine of Swords in reverse. Or no, the Nine of Swords. No, in reverse. What? This feels like this connection has been such a steady part of your life, but it almost like, and I don't even know if you're consciously aware of this, so please take this with a grain of salt and don't let this trigger you too much. It feels like you're settling because it feels like there's been this personal transformation that you've made, and then this one, because they have resolution, this person, they have resolution, will step out of your comfort zone. And this is what I said in the beginning, that it feels like in order for there to be a resolution in this connection, and to be a resolution of the feelings you're having, this person would have to go through a similar transformation, but that's really out of their comfort zone, and I don't know if this person is willing to do that. And I feel like you are taking on that burden. Virgo's side of the connection. The Ten of Cups in reverse, because this is, you're having, I mean, this message is basically saying you have unrealistic expectations about this connection and about this person. Not that, because you have faith in your dreams. It's what you're wanting in a romantic relationship, or say that not to, what you're wanting in this connection, and a connection that's similar to this, is possible. But in terms of this person, it feels like you're holding them to certain expectations that might not be realistic for where they're at. This was something that my therapist had to tell me that was kind of eye-opening, and it really transformed the way I approach relationships. So she was like just talking about my personal relationships in general. It came down to her being like, you're expecting other people to come from the healed place that you are, and therefore you're expecting them to communicate or to evolve or whatever the case is when they are just not capable because of where they're at in their life. And that was really eye-opening because it was like, it's not that it's personal that people weren't able to treat me the way that I wanted or give me what I deserved. It was that they literally didn't know how. Now, that doesn't mean that I give them the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, that's fine, then you continue to give me the bare minimum, like it's all good. That just means that I had to adjust my expectations of having the relationship in my life at all, and realize that if this person, if that person in my life wasn't willing to heal, and they weren't willing to step out of their comfort zone and do what was necessary to keep me in their life, then that was a sign from the universe that said, you deserve more. This isn't a connection meant for you. Now, I'm not saying that's the case here, but I do feel like there's some unrealistic expectations in terms of this person and what they are capable of emotionally. This is, yeah, because there's the Hangman in reverse. You know what you're deserving of in a connection here with the Lovers. And I feel like you're wanting this person to give you what you deserve. And to be quite honest, I don't know if they're capable of it. At least not right now. We haven't read their energy yet. This is just the basic overall energy I tapped into, but that's just basically what I'm seeing. And this healer energy, it's going back to empath. Like it's almost like you feel for this person and you're able to understand why they treat you the way they do, or why they hold back, or why they don't, they aren't vulnerable or emotionally available, or whatever the case is. But that is you taking on their burden of not healing. And that isn't fair to you, because you deserve to be in connections with people that match your energy. And I feel like this one does it. But let's see. This is Taurus's energy. See, but I feel like letting go of this connection strikes a lot of fear in you. Yeah, it does. Because, and it goes back to that, like, it's been such a, like, it just feels like it's been such a steady part of your life, or not even necessarily steady, but it's just been a part of your life for so long. It's essentially become comfortable. And I feel like that's why, with this deja vu, though, it feels like maybe instead of saying that you've experienced similar things in a lot of different connections, it's this connection, like the same problems start to arise, or the same, you're being triggered by the same things, or you're starting to see a similar theme. Like it's like there's deja vu within the connection, and that is what isn't getting fixed. It could be both within the connection or within, like I said, kind of like experiencing the same relationships in different people. This is Taurus's side of the connection to the person they're dealing with. If I've said this is Taurus, but for some reason I just had Virgo come through. There's limiting beliefs about what you believe is possible. The Eight of Swords, there's limiting beliefs here. What is Taurus's limiting belief? Clarifying the Eight of Swords for Taurus. What is Taurus's limiting belief? It's too specific for a general reading, but it lies in this cycle. The cycle that you're ending. And it almost feels like your limiting belief is that what you ultimately want isn't possible. Interesting. Now, I am really intrigued. I'm excited to know what this person has going on. This is the person that Taurus is dealing with, side of the connection to Taurus. The person that Taurus is dealing with, side of the connection to Taurus. Okay. They feel separation from you right now. But I almost feel, because that's the Two of Cups in reverse, I almost feel like they're avoiding it. Like that's the thing. Like, I feel like they want you to go back to the person you were before you had some sort of transformation. And you're like, no, I'm better now. Or not that your unhealed version isn't better, or your healed version isn't better than your unhealed version. Like, I mean, it's more healed, right? That goes back to, like, healing doesn't create superiority. But I ultimately feel like this is like, I don't like saying this in any capacity, but I'm trying to figure out a different way to word this. It feels like they now feel like you're too good for them. And that pokes at their self-worth. This is the person that Taurus is dealing with side of the connection. I don't like the energy of, like, feeling too good. Like, I don't know. It just feels like, whew. This person isn't happy with the changes that have taken place. They're experiencing some pretty... but it feels like they're like... I feel like I feel bad for this person. I feel like you do too, because I feel like they just, like it feels honestly um like wounded puppy kind of energy. Like, it just feels like, and I'm not trying to talk down on this person. I'm not trying to take away their value. I'm literally just saying it feels like this person has really good intentions, but has no idea what to do with them. Like, what kind of actions to actually take. Because to them, they viewed your personal transformation and you kind of stepping in more to your power here, they view it as a negative change. The person that Taurus is dealing with side of this connection. And they don't know how to be vulnerable. The Knight of Wands in reverse with the Ace of Wands here, with you or themselves. So that's the biggest thing. If you feel like they're not being vulnerable with you or honest with you, or if they're not good at talking about their emotions or telling you how they feel or whatever the case is, it's not that they're, like, not telling you how they feel. It's that they don't even know how to be vulnerable with themselves. And so that's where this unrealistic expectations come from, is you want them to be something for you that they can't even be for themselves right now. Hope that this glare isn't too intense for anyone. This is the person that Taurus is dealing with side of the connection. For some reason, Virgo keeps coming out. I keep wanting to say Virgo, but I don't know why. I have no idea why, because this is definitely Taurus. See, they don't have... Ooh. They feel like... Okay, hang on. Clarifying this message. The Tower and the Nine of Cups in reverse. They feel like you're... So this is the... Okay, I don't need to clarify. They're really comfortable with how things were in this connection before you started this transformation. They feel like you've kind of ripped the rug out from underneath their feet in a way. Now, this is interesting because it feels very like innocent. Like, this, it doesn't feel like this person is coming from a bad place at all. This is the person that Taurus is dealing with side of the connection. You could be dealing with Virgo. I don't know. Look at that. There's the Queen of Cups and the Devil. So they have ooh, this person could struggle with codependency. And it's almost like you've transformed in a way where you're no longer taking care of their needs because you're taking care of your own now because you stepped into your power. And so this person doesn't like that because they feel left behind. Remember, this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be a friendship too. This person feels left behind. They feel this is Taurus, the person that Taurus is dealing with, side of the connection, they feel like you've changed and they don't like that. To be quite honest with you, there's the Page of Swords, but they're not going to communicate that. They struggle with vulnerable communication. I feel like they don't know how to, and there's the Eight of Swords. So they're dealing with limiting beliefs too, but almost on a different way. So they struggle with communication. They don't know how to communicate vulnerably. So I feel like you might possibly have absolutely no idea that this is happening. You might think that they're fine and that everything is like good as always. But you're definitely feeling something. You're feeling confused. You're like, is this person right to have my life? Like, I don't really know. I'm going to say it, but take it as it resonates and do what you will. It feels like you've outgrown this person and it feels like they know it. Doesn't mean that they can't grow too. Maybe you trigger growth in them, right? Like, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it just feels like, I mean, they have to step out of their comfort zone in order for this connection to come to some sort of resolution. And it's up to them. You cannot pull them up with you. You cannot pull anybody up with you. You have to know, you have to just kind of do your own thing. And then if other people see that, in you, and they're like, oh, I really like what Taurus is doing. Like, I really think that I should do that too. Then, that's great, but you can't pull anyone up with you. And it kind of feels like this is like an instance where you definitely want to, because again, there's a lot of love here. But this connection's been such a steady part of your life for so long. So I feel like you're having a hard time really truly being able to choose yourself, essentially. Like, you're taking on the burden of like, oh, well, I understand why they are the way they are, blah blah blah. Yeah, but like, you shouldn't have to carry that. All right, Taurus, we're going to hop on over to the extended. You have faith in your dreams with resistance. So we'll see what comes through there. Any information for that's in the description box below. Oh, wow, this got dark. Any information for that's in the description box below, as well as any information on booking a personal reading with me. Thank you so very much, as always, for the support of my channel. It means the absolute world to me. I hope that this reading helped and resonated in the way that you are needing today. And I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey. Bye, Taurus.